Alright, update for Elon. So there is some short-term TA that I do want to jump into, but most importantly I want to talk about some macro things that are going to be going on in the next week, and I think these will have a massive impact on how DogelonMars performs in the market. So let's jump right into it. Before we do talk about today's video though, I have been talking about this for the last couple of videos. We were setting up the Discord. The Discord is finally active, so if you want to come and join the Discord, the link will be in the description of this video. It will also be on my YouTube page. So the Discord is really just going to be a place for the whole community to talk, chat, talk about time-sensitive information, talk about new cryptos, chart setups, but mainly just share memes and chat and share laughs. So that is why I made the Discord. I will be in there. I hope to see you all in there, but without anything else, let's jump right into the video. So in the short term, you can kind of see Elon is playing out something like a huge bullish pennant. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of calling this a bullish pennant, considering, you know, that the pennant is basically the whole flag. Nonetheless, it is still valid, even though the proportion is a little bit left to be desired. You can kind of see we're really getting chopped up in this right now. We've been rejected. The 200-day moving average, that is enemy number one for DogelonMars right now. You can see every time we've come back, tried to retest it as support, we've absolutely failed, and since then we've been getting rejected from it. So not really what you want to see in the lower time frames. So yeah, we're really getting chopped up right now. Depending on how you draw this, you can argue that we're still in the pattern. However, you know, I think this is probably the best way to define it, and you can kind of see we're kind of crashing into this lower bound again. The more we retest the floor, the more dangerous it gets. The oscillators, however, are making higher lows, so the oscillators like the money flow indicator and the RSI on the lower time frames are looking good for a move back up to the top of the channel. Much higher time frames, like I've been saying, I do believe Elon could go on a huge face tear. This is the Poloniex chart that I have just pulled up, so I do not believe it's got as much data as the KuCoin chart. Yeah, if we come over to the weekly, you can see actually the 26th of April. Oh no, so the Poloniex chart actually has more data. So we'll need to check out the charts in the future, but nonetheless, running off our most recent macro move, you can kind of still see that Elon is still above your 618 Fibonacci. So, you know, in the short term, I honestly do think it could be likely that we could have a fall below this bullish pennant, not from a technical perspective, but from a news perspective. Now, I don't know how long you lot have been in the market for DogelonMars. I've been here for quite some time, and I've experienced a Fed meeting or two, and previously when these Fed meetings come out, you know, the week before, Dogelon normally always chops around and does bearish price action, and then what normally happens is on the day of the Fed meeting, like literally the day it's done, the day the news is out, it absolutely goes on a huge rally. So we should see the newest Fed meeting be done by the 4th. I imagine as long as nothing outlandishly crazy comes out on the 4th, which is in, you know, 6 days we'll have the 4th, but, you know, within the next 7 days, I will be expecting continuation to come for Elon. I don't think this Fed meeting is going to be too bad. I think after this Fed meeting comes out, a lot of the fears will be alleviated into June, and we could see DogelonMars and a lot of other dog coins go on very severe rallies. So, you know, the charts, they're a little bit choppy right now. We could definitely fall out of the bottom of this. So you probably are wondering, you know, if we do fail this bull flag, which personally I do think we'll do. I think until the 3rd of May, you can see this is the apex of the pennant here, and the meetings are between the 3rd and the 4th of May. So in a perfect world, you could argue, you know, Elon could get chopped around in this very tight range. But I don't think that's the most likely thing to happen. I think it's likely that we could have a quick move back down to the downside, but I don't think we'll be going lower than 9 for a multitude of reasons. If we zoom out to the chart, you can see your 618 Fibonacci is once again here at 901, basically a 10% decrease from where we are right now. And you can also see that lines up nicely with your daily EMA ribbon. So my worst case scenario personally for Elon is to see a move back down to this 9 region, which would be another 10%. Now, we are currently in the midst of having a macro market momentum shift, and we're seeing the same on the weekly. On the weekly as well, you can see we're playing out this huge potential W pattern. So I don't think it'd be the worst thing to see a little bit of chop around this region before we do take off, in my opinion, you know, coming into the next week or so. Like I said, you know, I don't know how long you guys and girls watching my videos have been in Elon, but if you've been and you've paid attention to what normally happens on the Federal Reserve meetings, normally the week that these come out, it is always pretty choppy for Elon and some other meme coins. I haven't checked it out for all of the meme coins, but specifically for Elon, because I own a decent amount of Elon myself. So I am interested in how it reacts to these markets. I do normally notice that it does drop the week of the Fed meeting, and like I said, I think it would honestly be a little bit too perfect, because the apex of this lines up perfectly with the Fed meetings. I think it would be way too perfect if we just kind of chopped around in this pennant until then and had a big explosion. But does that mean that I'm going to be shorting this? Does this mean I'm going to be selling my bags hoping for a 10% decrease down to 9? Absolutely not. I would not be selling my long-term bags in the hopes that I buy them back 10% cheaper. That just seems absolutely degenerative to me. I do not plan on doing that whatsoever. However, you know, it does look like we could potentially come back down and make, you know, not new lows, but, you know, we could come down to this low. We could make a higher low out of here. We could, I really think something like this is going to happen, where we do just chop around for the next week. Personally, I plan on putting a bunch of buy orders down for Elon around the 618 Fibonacci, and it's getting kind of degenerative for me because I believe Elon takes up about 3 to 3.5% of my portfolio. I initially made a review video where I reviewed my crypto portfolio, and at the time of recording this I said I believe Elon was like 1.9 to 2% of my portfolio. We have had a huge rally. We had a 50% rally since then, and I did pick up a bunch more Elon, so it might even be leaning more towards the 3.5 to 4% allocation of my portfolio. However, if we do come down to the 618 fib again, I might just up that again, you know, maybe make it a 5% allocation, and then I think I'd be pretty happy with how much Elon I hold. Nonetheless, huge support down here at 9.5, huge support down to 9, and then, you know, we've got even more support floors down here just below the 9 region. So I really see, you know, worst comes to worst, maybe a 10% move to the downside for Elon while we're waiting for this Fed meeting. But I will be keeping an eye on this Fed meeting. I will let you guys know what happens when this Fed meeting comes into fruition. That is all I've got for you for Elon. I am still very macro bullish. However, in the short term, we could make a slight move to the downside. That is all I've got. As always, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion on the market. And as always, cowboy out. Peace.